Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a very important video on how to actually reduce your fear when it comes to trading. Because guys, trust me, having fear in trading is 100% a real thing. I have fear even now when I'm trading, and it's something that you will never get rid of. However, I will be telling you in this video how to reduce that fear so that you can take more winning trades, risk the right amount per trade, stop over trading, stop taking trades that aren't part of your strategy, start catching very good setups, and ultimately becoming a profitable trader much sooner. So stay to the end of this video. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And guys, by the way, every single comment that you leave on this video, I will answer it inside of my free community. So all you need to do is join the free community. The link will be below. Leave a comment on this video and I'll answer it in the free community and help everybody out for even more free value. But without further ado, let's get onto the charts and I will show you guys exactly how to actually reduce your fear when it comes to day trading. Okay, so yeah, guys, fear is a very real thing in trading. Like when you're trading, you're always going to have fear. You're always going to have fear for so many different things, which I'll cover in this video. And in order to become a successful trader, you need to get to a point where you aren't scared of taking a trade. You're not scared of risking the right amount. You're not scared of doing all of these things. And I'll explain this in the video, and I'll also explain how you can overcome fear, because obviously that's the best thing to do, is overcome fear, not just try and prevent it. But if you can actually implement strategies to prevent it, then it's going to be so much more helpful, okay? So I've got some notes here on my chart, right? And by the way, this is a very important video. This is not necessarily strategy, but overcoming fear is necessary to become a trader. If you have the best strategy in the world and you have an amazing understanding of how I trade, but you're too scared to take the trade, there's no point in you even trading. So that's why I'm making this video, so that you guys can overcome your fear, okay? So first thing right here on my screen is fear of losing. A lot of traders have the fear of losing, and as a result, they're not going to take trades because they're scared it's going to lose. For example, this is a trade which I literally took, what's this, like a couple hours ago. And if I was scared of taking a trade due to a fear of losing, I wouldn't have taken this trade and I wouldn't have made a good amount of money, okay? So when you are trading, you need to have no fear of trading. You need to have a very strong belief in your strategy. And as a result, when it comes to taking a trade that fits your strategy, you're going to have the confidence to take it because you're not scared of losing. So fear of losing is something which I definitely struggled with when I was starting out in trading. There'd be so many opportunities which I see look really good, but I wouldn't take them because I was scared of losing. And as a result, I would end up taking bad setups because I missed the good ones and I won a revenge trade, even though I should have taken the good one, but I was scared of losing, so I didn't take it. So yeah, fear of losing is a very real thing. And it's something which you need to overcome through just literally being on the markets for a very long time. The more time you spend on the markets and the more you miss good trades because you're scared of taking them, eventually your brain will be telling you, right, something isn't right here. I keep missing trades which are very good because I'm too scared to take them. Eventually, you will start taking the trades and you will stop being scared of losing, because you'll get to a point where you just don't care about the outcome. That's what you want to be like as a trader. You just don't want to care if it wins or loses. You want to just be really, I don't know what the word is, but just not like be impacted by the result, and that will just come with time, okay? So yeah, I mean, it's hard for Bruno to kind of answer and give his opinion on that because he hasn't really been
No,
trading for long. But yeah,
I
go on.
got, my bad, I'm a bit ill, boys. But I was gonna say, or even ask you, what three main things in your psychology would combat fear? I'll say one, but this could be a combination of all three: confidence, but then experience, and even just being good, just having good theory or understanding
Yeah,
the
yeah,
charts.
100%. Like if you can get more confident through maybe back testing, for example, then when it comes to taking trades, you're now more confident, as you know your back testing is really good, and you know you've got a good win rate. So that is, yeah, going to eliminate fear. It's going to help your confidence. And also you said about just being, a good trader. If you've got a good strategy, then that's going to reduce your fear. That's going to help you to take trades, as you know your strategy actually works, which is a big thing. Like people think they have a good strategy, but some people just don't have a good strategy, and that's why you're scared of taking a trade. When you have a good
Mm,
strategy, it becomes so much easier to not be scared to trade. For example, this trade I took today, very, very good trade. A lot of the members in my private community took it as well. And it's because the strategy works. It's because they've backtested it. So they have less fear than somebody who hasn't backtested. And as a result, yeah, when it comes to trading, it's going to be easier to trade as you know the strategy works. So if you don't have a good strategy, you need to learn a good strategy. And there are multiple ways to do it. You can learn for free on YouTube. You can learn from this bootcamp series. Or if you want a more detailed understanding, then you guys can join the private community. The link will be in the description. But those are the best ways to ultimately decrease your fear and then increase your profitability. Okay, so that's literally just the first point. There's so much more to fear, which I'm going to get into. Okay, but the next part of fear is moving to break even too soon. Okay, let's say, for example, this trade which I took today ended up coming down to my break even, which is down here. Okay, had I have moved to break even too soon, right, I would have been stopped out of this trade, and then if it went up again, I would have made no money because I'm now out of the trade. Now, a lot of people do this, especially beginners, because they're scared of having a losing trade. So as soon as they go into profit, they move to break even as quickly as they can, even though they haven't seen their criteria to move to break even. So if you move to break even too soon, you're now out of the winning trade. And now if the trade goes in your favor, which it did today, you've now made no money and you've missed out on a possible, 5 or 6R, which is literally like insane on a big enough funded account. So don't move to break even too quickly. And the best way to overcome moving to break even too quickly is just simply, like Bruno said, having confidence in your strategy and also giving yourself rules before you move to break even. So, for example, a good rule that I use is when I move to break even, I want to see continuous break of structures to the direction that I've taken the trade in. So, for example, we were in a downtrend here, right? Now, if you guys don't understand downtrends or uptrends or change of characters, I've covered all of this in my previous video, okay? But we were in a downtrend. We changed character to the upside. So I don't move to break even as soon as I enter the trade, obviously, because I'll be entering after the change of character. So I wait to see some structure forming. So now we can see like an actual uptrend forming, right? So this is break of structure number 1, and this is break of structure number 2. And normally after this second break of structure, so this is the change of character here, right? This is the break of structure here, the first one, and then the second break of structure is right here. And normally around this time, that's kind of when I'll think about moving to break even, okay? Because then there's some good structure formed, and my entry is going to be down here, somewhere around here, right? I can move to break even because the market is now somewhere up here, and for me to move to break even here makes more sense than for me to move to break even when there hasn't been any structure formed in the direction I want it to go. So that's a really important thing. Don't move to break even too soon. And actually, some people don't even like to move to break even in general because that way there's just no way that they can be stopped out and then it goes in their favor. Some people would rather accept the 1% loss or accept the 6% gain and have no possibility of break even. So that's something you need to kind of consider through backtesting, through just journaling, and see what works best for you. Okay. Now, next thing, fear of risking the right amount. Okay. A very, very, very big thing, which I struggled with a lot, and probably one of the things I struggled with the most is under risking, because I was too scared of risking the right amount because I didn't want to see my account go into massive drawdown. Okay. So let's go back to this winning trade, which I took today. This is a very good trade. Now, my old self would have probably under-risked on this trade, or even any trades in general, and instead of risking the right amount, around 1% or something around that like bull mark, you would risk maybe 0.2%, 0.3% because you're scared of having a losing trade. But what that means is that when you do have a winning trade like this, your profit is now way less than it should be, and as a result, you just aren't going to be as profitable of a trader because now your wins are smaller than what they're meant to be, okay? If you're risking 0.3 on some trades and then a random 1% on other trades, then when you do have a losing trade, because you've not risked the right amount on your winning trades, your losing trades now look way bigger than they should be. So ideally, what you want to do is risk the same amount on every single trade, and that is how you're going to make sure your winners are bigger than your losses, and you're going to be profitable in the long run because you are risking the right amount. Now, this is really a lot to do with risk management as well, which I'll be making separate videos on. But what I want to obviously mention mostly is that you want to make sure you're risking the right amount, because like I said, if you don't, and if you're scared to risk the right amount, your wins are going to be too small and they're not going to make up for your losses, okay? So yeah, that's a very big thing, right? To overcome fear of risking the right amount, what you can do is you can actually have a piece of paper in front of you, or make a note on maybe your phone and put your phone in front of you that says you need to risk 1% every single trade. That's what I did in uni. I'll throw up a picture right here on my screen, and you guys can see that it was a rule that I literally had. I had it all around my computer at the time, my laptop in front of me, and whenever I took a trade, I would look there, I would say, okay, it says to risk a percent, so I'm going to risk a percent. And that way, if I win, I've made a lot of money because I risked a percent. And if I lose a percent. It's not a big deal because my winners are going to make up for that percentage loss. So, yeah. Now, guys, the final one, which I'll cover right now, is going to be fear of trusting your strategy. Now, this kind of leads on to what Bruno mentioned at the start. If you have a fear of trusting your strategy, then you need to become more confident in your strategy. And the best way to do that is to backtest your strategy. So go back and find winning examples of your strategy. Okay. Now, your strategy probably will be very similar to mine if you've gone through this bootcamp series so far. Okay. And you just want to find winning examples of your strategy. So, for example, this was a trade, I believe, yeah, Tuesday. I took this trade here. Okay. For the strategy, Asian high taken out, a sweep of liquidity from these highs here. And then I sold off, I believe it was right here. Okay. I've actually probably made a video on this already. But this is what you would do. You would go back, you would find winning examples of your strategy, and it would help your confidence increase because you know your strategy works. Now, that is super important to do because now you're going to trust your strategy. And when it comes to seeing a winning trade play out in the live markets, you're going to take it because you know your strategy works. Now, the only way you know your strategy is going to work is, number one, you have a good strategy to follow. You can't just be trading random things when you're trading and expect to work. Like when I started, and probably, the same for you, Bruno, I was just trading random stuff, right? I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm.
And I was just basically just,
I was trading oil.
yeah, yeah. Like when you're starting out, you just trade everything. I was trading gold, I was trading news, I was trading no sort of strategy. And that's why I was scared of trading, because I didn't have a plan to follow. But when you have a plan, then you know your strategy works and you know what you're doing every day. You're not going to be scared of taking a trade based on your strategy because you know your strategy works. Okay. And another thing, when you are trading not with a good strategy, or you're scared of your strategy, it's going to lead you to take random trades because you don't know exactly what you're doing every day. So, for example, my strategy says to buy it after this liquidity sweep and after this Asian low's been taken out. Okay. Now, if I don't have a good strategy, I may have not taken a buy here, or if I had taken a buy here, maybe for some reason I would let like another strategy get the better of me, and I'd be taking like random sells at these areas, which just don't make any sense for my strategy. And then as a result, I'm now just losing for no reason. So like there's so many things you need to remember when it comes to trading, but one of the main ones is just sticking to your strategy and not being scared of taking a trade based on your strategy. Okay. Final thing here is having a fear of your strategy leads you to missing good setups. Okay, so kind of all leading on from each other. If you're scared of taking a trade based on your strategy, you're not going to be taking winning trades, and you're not going to be profitable because you're too scared of taking a trade because you don't have confidence in your strategy. So those are the main things which traders are going to be scared of when it comes to trading. Now, there's obviously a lot to cover there, but what I would recommend is you guys, start backtesting. Backtesting is going to help you with so many of these things here. It's going to help you to have confidence in your strategy. And when you've got more confidence in your strategy, you're not going to be scared of taking a trade based on your strategy. You're not going to be scared to risk the right amount, as you know your strategy works. You're not going to be scared of losing, as you know your strategy works. And like that is what I would recommend. Now, also, like I mentioned to you guys as well, have a piece of paper in front of you that says your rules, to follow, that says how much you're risking per trade, that says when you're going to take partials. And then when it comes to taking a winning trade, not only are you confident on this winning trade, but you know how much to risk, you know exactly what you're doing, and everything is going to be so much easier when you are confident on a strategy and you're not scared of losing anymore. So yeah, like Bruno, how does that sound, man? Is that something that makes sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, I had a guy say it as well before, that the best traders you want to have the least emotion running through you whilst you're placing a trade. You know, you want to just
Hmm.
be look at a chart and not have any heart rate increase or anything, even when you're in the trade,
Yeah.
because you know what's going on. And if you lose, it is what it is. Take it on the chin.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's obviously difficult to get to that stage where you don't care about the trade. Like I still care about my trades because obviously
Mm,
it's money floating on my screen. Like you're always gonna care
yeah.
about the trades, but you just gotta get to a point where
Nah,
you
this guy that said it was like a millionaire, though, so maybe not
yeah.
even the right
No, no,
thing
no.
to say.
Like no. What he's saying is so correct, but it's just like everyone, even him, bro. Even he's gonna like be have some sort of emotion. Like you can't get rid of emotion. Like it's just that you can't get rid of it. So it is what it is. But you got to kind of find ways to overcome it. So one of those things can be backtesting, having your rules on your piece of paper in front of you, um, and just being confident in your strategy, and then that will help out a lot. So, yeah, guys, that's kind of how I would overcome fear. And I hope that makes sense. Drop some W's in the comments if it made sense. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as I mentioned at the start, if you want to join my private community, the link will be in the description. I trade live every day. And I actually called out this trade live on my community today. And I'll put up some of the results from on my screen of members in my community who took the trade. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you guys on the next episode.